that is that. I'm gonna be like doing my makeup while I talk about it. On. Period. I wanted to do lives because it's like way easier than filming and editing a video. But okay, so today I'm gonna be talking about how like land is proprietary and like my vision for the future, because I swear I just like have these ideas for what the future is gonna look like, and yeah, I feel like I should look like, wait, what's this? What? Okay. Anyways, I'm glad that one person's here. So yeah, basically like the land is proprietary. With so much like consumption in the world, the only thing that's actually unique is like the land where we live, where we come from. Being from Hawaii, I like see this so clearly, and just like traveling the world, I see this so clearly. But like the land shapes everything, and so like in the future, it's gonna be so much about like stuff that is native to a certain region. Like when you go to Italy, the grapes are from there, and that's what makes the wine so good. The Parmesan cheese is only from like a certain region, and I just feel like everywhere is going to be like that. And I will get into like why that is and how every industry could like use that and like some examples. But basically, give me some slack because I'm new to the going live thing, okay? But basically, okay, I want to like buy a farm. I want to like buy a farm, and then any product I feel like will just be able to be grown on like any farm and then sold like in any region. Like you can have like Massachusetts this or like Maui this, and like that's what makes it exciting. And instead of like shipping things across the world, like people are gonna travel to go like experience the products that come from like certain regions or whatever. And like this goes into like shopping and brands and like how people get their like buyer identities. Like everybody has like a buyer identity. I just made that up, but everybody has like an identity from what they consume. I guess it'd be like consumer identities. So like, yeah. So like, okay, people buying from Amazon don't really have like a huge consumer identity. It's just like buying what's cute, and like slapping words on like a t-shirt doesn't really like, it's not gonna matter as much. Like even Balenciaga and like designer clothing is not gonna be like as valuable. It's gonna be more of like a story and like where it comes from, and it's all because the land is proprietary. Okay, so yeah, like people are just gonna become more ethical in the way that they consume, because it is going to be cooler to be ethical and like have a story behind your dollar and like what you're investing in my opinion. Like a mohair rabbit fur sweater is more valuable than just like a designer sweater, because you can be like, oh, because everything you consume like feeds your ego, and people are gonna start having like sustainable egos, in my opinion, like about sustainability or whatever. So yeah, it all comes back to like the land being proprietary and like the consumer traveling to experience something that is native to a certain region, right? So like for cooking, like you're gonna travel to experience certain flavors that you couldn't get where you are living. Yeah. And like when people trip out on like God and like spirituality, when they feel like it's too big of a concept for them, a lot of the times I explain it like religion is like cooking. So like the flavors come from what is growing and already available in certain regions, you know. Whole cuisines are like compiled from what is already available, and like religion is literally the same way. Like the way that they're using the native plants to get a certain flavor palette is the same way people are using their natural, like, this lawnmower in the back is like absolutely murking me. But it's the same way in like religion, they use what is like naturally available to them to worship or to feel the connection to spirit. And a lot like it's like climate specific, and it has to do with how they communicate with each other, like, yeah, their altitude. This provides them like availability to have some sort of divination through these different outlets. And so the same way spirituality and religion comes from the land, like cooking comes from the land, everything just goes back to the land, basically. Like in Hawaii, I'm on the North Shore right now. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up because this fucking lawnmower is insane. I just like wanted to talk about this specific topic because it's been in my brain. But they opened like a red dirt whiskey distillery, and we have like red dirt in here in Hawaii, and they're using like macadamia nuts to have the kindling for the whiskey distillery. Stuff like that. That's like literally what is valuable, because like the land is valuable, and like honestly nothing else really is, like, in my opinion. But like that's just a really good example of how they're using the land in a proprietary way. Red dirt whiskey or whatever. So like I am just like projecting about the future right now, but like I see the girlies getting their farms in any specific region and finding out what is unique about that region, and then like amplifying it to create like what's it called, a demand. Create a demand and then like have that supply of what is unique to the land. And I feel like this type of thinking is actually what's going to like save the world and help us like protect different ecosystems, because they're going to be tied like monetarily to value. It was a little rough in the beginning, but I pulled it back together with like that topic of the video. Basically, that's like the whole point of life. to be in connection with the land and see what is like unique about it and marvel about these like wonders of the world. But it takes some girlies like getting farms and like even understanding like what is a native plant to a specific region. Right, like pizza dough and pizza crust, okay? Like, yeah, if it was made with certain yeast from a specific region or blah blah blah, it's like that is what tasting is all about. Also, traveling to certain places to get like vibes and fully experience culture, I think it's going to just promote eating local and also like intentional travel. And yeah, like preservation of ecosystems basically. And it will also help like money wasted in transportation. Like we transport food all over the world. People don't even know what food is like native to their atmosphere. Period. The wind is agreeing right now. But like, yeah, imports should be whatever is necessary. Exports should be like what is from the region, okay? And yeah, that's my 2 cents. That's pretty much it. I feel like I want to talk about more, but basically that is my vision for like protecting ecological systems. Yeah, if people are growing like, okay, I guess Hawaii is a bad example because there was like nothing here before humans introduced a lot of stuff, but there's so much like invasive species here, so many invasive species, and they need to get out. Speaking like very bimbo right now, but they need to get out. We need to bring back the native species, and this will also bring like awareness to the native species and how important it is to protect like these biological bubbles that are going on. One big melting pot is like fine, but I think it would be cooler to go to these places and really experience their culture for all that they are, and for them to get money from these exports that are so region specific, bringing it back to the fucking soil, bitch, because the soil is what is wrong in so much of like America. And I guess they do need to like change crops and all that stuff. I'm not a soil expert, but yeah, basically I guess like the thesis would be like intentional consumerism leads back to ecological benefits for certain regions. And like that's the gist. That's like really all I want to talk about. But like I see a future world where everybody wins and everybody cares. And like my friend posted something last night that was really awesome. It was like, what was it? It was like saying how we're in like a spiritual battle and it won't, like our spirit, our energy is an energy source, right? We're not gonna like win this energy battle unless we like raise our energy. And I've always thought like you're not gonna change the world by demanding something, you're gonna change the world by like changing people's hearts. So like people have to want to preserve the natural order of things from their hearts. Like people are selfish at the end of the day. I can do a whole other video on like altruism and how I don't believe in altruism. People are selfish, as they should be, because like you only look out for yourself. Nobody else is looking out for you or whatever. But when you tie the self back to everything else, then you become not selfish because everything else is the self. But anyways, that's like a long way to go. When you tie the self back to what you're consuming ethically and make that cool because it is cool, then that's good. And like overconsumption and like Amazon buying and all this fucking bullshit plastic stuff that we're buying is only gonna like lead us into this like really toxic way for then the pendulum to swing back into intentional buying, in my opinion. Like, it's embarrassing to say you got something made from Shein, you know? It's already like shamed. The girlies don't want to say it, and like, hey, I am doing great. Thanks for tuning in. I'm gonna try to do more YouTube lives like all the time. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys want to ask me any questions on like what is proprietary mean, what makes it ethical, that would be great. And I mean, tourist places already do this. Like in Hawaii, there's like Mackinac Farms you can go tour and like what have you, whatever. But that's also gonna be like educational. Like it's gonna be so fire in the future when everybody just like has their identities based off of ethical consumption, which I see happening very soon. But what do you guys think? I really should do like a whole video on altruism because it is like such a big topic. Maybe that can be tomorrow. This has like a lot of ideas tied to it. I hope it made sense when I was talking about like religion coming from the land and like cuisine coming from the land, but like it literally does. Like it comes from the fucking soil, okay? Like Italian grapes on the countryside, California like seafood and oysters and mussels, maybe not oysters, they're like a little north. But that's the thing, that's gonna make like traveling exciting because why am I traveling somewhere and just eating the same thing I'm eating at home? And like, why am I paying for something to travel all the way around the world? I mean, I get it, like for places like Alaska that like literally have no fresh food growing parts of the year, like maybe they need some imports, okay? But for the most part, like seasonal eating is just the way to go. Seasonal cooking is the way to go. Like the nutrients goes down when they're fucking GMOing this stuff to last like months at sea and like in boxes. It's like, how fresh can she really be? She's been in a box, okay? Food's not supposed to last that long. That's why we have to have so many like preservatives and things, because we're shipping shit all over the world, not even respecting where it came from. People have no like say in their eating or their food. Like it's just, they don't even know where it comes from. And I'll never forget just like coming to a place where you understand farming and like growth is so empowering for like the human spirit also, because we're not taught that things are free ever. I remember when I started growing a garden, one of my very spiritual friends was like, she was like, wow, so you just plant it and then like you get it for free? Like It's literally we're so disconnected from the land that we can't even understand the concept of free money, free like offerings from the land, like gifts from the land. Like it's such a trippy concept to even have abundance, but that's like our natural state. And the Hawaiians were so good at this. They had so much abundance. They had the rivers flowing into their fields, and the whole system was all set up. They had like hella extra food. That's why they were like big and happy, you know what I mean? But we've just like completely forgotten this concept of like living for free. And I don't know if it's intentional or what to get the spirit to grow in capacity, but like if we don't feel like we're entitled to abundance and gifts for free just in our very being. No, this one's better. Okay, better than the altruism. But if we don't feel like we're entitled to free abundance, it like fucks with our psyche so much. Like we feel like we should be like slaving for the workforce and like giving and giving and giving just to receive the littlest bit. Like that is not normal. That is literally not our natural state. You plant a seed and you get food. Like it's the little bit of gardening, of like tilling and cultivating and just watching. Like you just have to plant a seed, and that like you learn so much from nature and just like being in nature, and we're so cut off from it. But seeing the value of like our proprietary land will help us understand so much. All of these lessons that can be learned from nature, like something I've been learning about like planting a seed, going back to that. Yeah, put the seeds in, just put them in and like let them grow, baby. Using timing like to my advantage, like planting a seed, and then you don't stand over the garden and look at it. You plant the seed and you come back and there are gifts. And like that is what business is all about, doing what you can while you have the resources readily available. And then you're not micromanaging the seed to grow, you know? But we're not learning all these lessons that are like right in front of our faces because we're like locked in doing tasks for big corps that we don't even know the intention, you know? We're just like following rules, some fucking PEMDAS, but we don't know what equation we're even calculating all the time. Yeah. Let it grow. Let it go, let it grow. So, bringing value back to where we live and seeing that every place is like worth saving and worth working with. And that is like environmentalism, and that is like sustainability, in my opinion. Like what I said, bringing money and value into these places, going off of like consumer identity. And I already see it like in these wealthy spaces. No, we make money and travel and repeat. Yeah, we do make money and travel and repeat. But like in Bali is the opposite example of this. Nothing in Bali has been preserved. Nothing in Bali has been esteemed or put on a pedestal. When you go there, it's like whitewashed everything. It's there's trash everywhere. They have not empowered the Balinese people. There's like literally no trash system. They're burning it. The way they throw away like a coconut husk, they're just throwing it everywhere. And I'm not shaming the Balinese people, but it was never to uplift the culture that was already there in the land that like was already established. And like, yeah, people go visit the rice fields, but like, it's not about seeing that as value. They're like paving over the rice fields to put in some fucking boutiques where they sell a dress for $500. Like, that's not, I don't want that. Nobody wants that. I want to see the culture, see the food that comes from the land, see like the spirituality that comes from the land, how these people have connected. There's like Hindu temples everywhere, but it's just not uplifting that which has been and is, because it's not seen as like economically valuable. But I would argue it's totally opposite, because those unique experiences that you get in different regions are why people are traveling there in the first place. Like, unless they're just trying to like exploit these places and build up huge villas. But like, we've seen the outcome of that, and it's counterproductive to getting people to want to visit there. Like, you have to enrich what is there by valuing what is there. You stay smart on the way. Stay smart. Yeah. I think it'd be really interesting to like get people to tune in to this conversation, and I wish I promoted it a little bit, but I just popped on here today to yeah, to say what's up. Wait, has my orientation been like fucked this whole time? That's annoying. This might be an audio pod for people tuning in. Maybe just put your headphones in. I didn't realize I was in the wrong orientation the whole time. I liked it better before. Okay, basically I'm done. Wait, can you, if there's someone in here, can you tell me if I was in the wrong orientation and you were like watching me upside down or like sideways, because that's annoying. Whatever. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. Go love the land. Love you. Bye.